Karl Malone will always be remembered for being one of the greatest basketball players ever. His 36,928 points ranks second on the NBA all-time scoring list, right behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Recently, the mailman was in Schuylkill County, and his press conference began with something that might shock people.
And I know we're going to have a basketball question, but you're going to bore me real fast when you start talking about sports and basketball. But if you want to talk to me about life and what I believe about our country, fire away. If you keep it clean, I will. If you don't, I won't. And I have the right, any time in this interview to leave.
That's right. No basketball questions. So what exactly is there to talk about with the NBA Hall of Famer? Oh, I know. How about his new hobby? Recently, Karl Malone teamed up with La Aurora, and now he has his own brand of cigars and rum.
Knowing the history of cigars, knowing the history of La Aurora, that they've been in the wine, they've been in the spirits forever. They created El Presidente beer. So, and they're the oldest cigar factory in the DR. Mr. Leon and Gustavo and them, the whole La Aurora family, helped create our cigar. And we didn't just put a label on it. We got barrel aged by Karl Malone, La Aurora. And they introduced us to Miami Cigars, who was our distributor out of Miami. And to see their process, and they made this rum to pair with every La Aurora strain of tobacco. They paired this rum with that.
Malone cigars are currently being sold, and as for his rum, it'll be on shelves soon. Right now, the rum is being sold in Utah, Louisiana, Nevada, and Georgia. As for Pennsylvania, the rum is currently going through the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board's vendor process, and the board says it will be made available to purchase in January of 2020. Aside from staying busy with rum and cigars, Malone is relaxing in his free time and paying respect to the first responders around this country. Malone stated numerous times that he respects them for their work and keeping everyone safe. In fact, when he launched his rum in New Jersey, he met his definition of a hero.
I met a hero last night. I'll never forget him. And after you knew something about him, but then when I shook his hand, you see something that's refreshing. Lo and behold, he was one of the firemen at 9/11. I had no idea who he was. And I knew he had a pen on. And to be able to spend some time with him, and I've yet to visit Ground Zero. Don't ever want to. To me, that was a gut punch that I never get over. And I don't even want to go there, because to me that was like cowards that did it. But then meet heroes like that. He said, "Have you ever visited?" I said, "No, sir." He said, "Well, you should." And it's like I've had 1,000 people tell me I should, but from him and our exchange, I'm looking forward to that.
Malone loves this country. He also loves rum and cigars. And don't worry, he still loves sports. And while Karl Malone didn't want to talk about his basketball career, he did talk about sports just a little bit, as he talked about his childhood hero, the great Muhammad Ali. The main reason why Malone was in Schuylkill County was to visit Fighter's Heaven, the former Deer Lake training facility that was famously known for hosting Muhammad Ali's training camps.
He meant the world to me, and that's why it's so surreal to me, because he was like my hero growing up. Never thought I would ever meet him. Used to watch him in our little rabbit ears TVs back home in the South when he was boxing, and never thought I would ever meet him. I always looked at him as kind of untouchable, and then I got to meet him, and he's what life is about.
Malone had an in to get into Fighter's Heaven. His friend is Ali's former business manager and Schuylkill County native Gene Kilroy. Malone and Kilroy go back as far as 1985 during Malone's rookie season, and Malone calls Kilroy one of the best people on the face of the earth.
When I was going to make decisions, because it was a cool thing to do, I would always call him, big fella, you don't need to do that. You need to do this. So just so much, and it ain't got nothing to do with anything other than a great human being. I've never met a person, for sure a man walking this earth, that can compare to Gene Kilroy on how he do and what he do for people. He do not get enough credit, not that he want it. And like I said, if I had one drop of blood left in me for him to live and me to die, I'm gonna give him my drop of blood, because he's going to be the one to do more than I do with it.
As for Kilroy, he speaks highly of Malone as well. He told the Liquor Control Board that they're working with a hell of a guy.
So I'm blessed to be in the position I am to help people. I help people who I want to help. I know the frauds, the con men, I stay away from them. Well, anymore, I just wish that you guys will embrace Karl in the state of Pennsylvania, just like I have, and just like everyone who met him has. And he is his good man, Tim, here, who looks out for him, and it's a good team. And if he says something, that's it. You don't need a contract, you don't need a handshake, all you need is that big smile.
And for the basketball fans out there was actually some basketball talk. Well, actually it was more sports talk in general. Malone gives parents of young athletes his opinion on youth sports today.
First and foremost, I think our children play way too much sport. The AAUs, AAU teams, the travel balls. To me personally, our kids play way too much sports. And as us parents, I think we push them way too much sport. Kids need downtime. I don't care what anybody say. I'm not here to debate nobody about it. You ask me the question. I think our kids is really pushed way too hard. And I think a lot of times as parents, we're living our lives through our kids, let them enjoy it. Ask them, do they love the game? Or they like the game? And when they love the game, they're going to do everything else so they can be out there playing the game. But so many times as parents, we try to live our life through them. And then second of all, when you own a team, it parlays it into business. Even if you're the president of the United States, you're only as smart as your team you got around you. I don't care what nobody says, so you got to allow them to do their job.
And if you would like to hear from Malone yourself, you'll be able to do so in January, as he'll be making appearances throughout the state to promote his rum. Reporting for SSPTV News, I'm John Eric Poli.